Good evening, tubers. Matt M. Roy back once again here with Mr. Milo. Yep, I had to switch chairs because right before I was going to go live, Mr. Milo decided to lay down on this chair, and I said, you know what, let's just have him lay next to me. Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas, got everything that they wanted for Christmas. I did myself. My Christmas present was actually getting to see my godparents for the first time in quite a few years, and we really had a lot of fun. We had a lot of good food last night. Ate a little too much, though. I haven't really gained any weight. Still pretty thin here, though I have to keep it in mind that I've eaten manicotti twice. So it's an Italian dish with a lot of ricotta cheese in it, and I've had heartburn the past 2 nights, so not too good there. See, we got 8 watchers and 9 likes. Thank you so much, everybody. You know, part of my Christmas gift is being able to do this with you guys and gals out there as well. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Goodness. A lot of talks about likes and dislikes. I'm not worried about it. People that dislike this video can leave if they want. Stephen Barber says, had to rest my work cell again. This time I got to do a clean install on iOS. Can't wait until February to upgrade my personal phone to the iPhone 8 Plus at tax time. I think we're all waiting for tax time. May have some interesting things happening at tax time. We'll just have to see how that goes this year and if my accountant does what he's supposed to do. How do you clean install iOS on an iPhone? I've never had to do that before. I think there's I know on the Android phones there's a specific number of things you can do, like you push the volume up and the power button, and it boots you into a special menu, and you can do like a factory reset. I don't know if it works that way with iOS devices. You may have to do it through the iTunes store. Somebody can elaborate on that. Somebody knows more about Apple than I do. Ruben says hello to me and to Milo. You had somebody say hello to you, big boy. He's been very happy. He loves it when people come and visit because he doesn't get to see other people very often. Now, Baxter, he's a little leery of new people, but you know what? Eventually he comes around. He actually let my godparents pet him the other day. It took about a day, but that's just that cat's personality. Okay, so I'm going to get to a few of the things I want to show you. Some of the haul. I don't want to call it a haul because I really didn't buy too much today, but I was going to show you guys what I did pick up the day after Christmas. You know, the day after Christmas, all the stores out there, with the exception of a few, have the 50% off sales. And actually, I think Rite Aid and I want to say CVS actually have 75% off sale. So in a minute, I'll go ahead and show you what I got. I actually got all these items from one store, Bed Bath & Beyond. I actually started filming a vlog video earlier today, but I didn't like the way the footage came out, so I scrapped everything. I said, forget it. We'll just go ahead and do another live stream tonight. I-36 says, my dog was happy and jumped on strangers. We got a shock collar and gave him a little shock. Oh, don't do that. That is so hard on them. Now he does not do that, and he goes up to see them, but then lays down. I'm not a big fan of those shock collars. They say they're 100% humane, but I've seen people use them, and I can't imagine. I mean, how would you feel if you had something around your neck that was giving you little shocks? You know what? As bad as my animals can be, and believe me, this one can be really bad at times, I would never do a shock collar. The Lazy Fish Keeper says hello. Hello back to you. Now, one thing I want to show you, I know I told you guys that I was going to go down to the holiday lights at the beach, and a lot of you said, nah, I probably won't get down there this year. Well, guess what? Here's your proof. My ticket stub from Holiday Lights at the Beach, which was actually really nice because normally it's $12 a car, but because my godfather was in the military, we got the military discount, and we got the whole car to go through for $5, which is a really good deal. It is. It's beautiful. It's at the Virginia Beach oceanfront. It's a mile of lights, and basically they're all different kinds of animatronic lights. They're fish that hop over. They look like they're hopping over your car because you're actually riding on the boardwalk. There's Santa that's water skiing in a bathing suit, top on, of course. They had now this year they did not have the 12 days of Christmas. Normally they actually animate with lights the 12 days of Christmas. For whatever reason, they didn't have it this year. I did hear that some of the lights were out for refurbishment, so maybe those are the ones that they're doing, because you got to remember these run for a couple of months every year. So after, a decade, maybe 10, 15 years, some of the lights start to burn out. They have issues with the different controllers. So I can kind of understand that they maybe had to tailor it down a little bit this year. And I think they did do that, because where it would normally take us about maybe 15 or 20 minutes to go through it, I think we went through the whole thing in about 10 minutes. But still an awesome thing to see. Riding on that boardwalk, it gets you in the Christmas spirit, and you actually get to tune the radio station and listen to the live music. So definitely a highly recommended bucket list item if you're ever in the Virginia Beach area. Ruben says, hey man, I'm going to upload the review of my HP Compact Elite 8300 Ultra Slim desktop this Saturday. Mark your calendars. I definitely will. And make sure you share that. Whenever you upload a video, the best thing to do is right at the end where it gives you the option to share, click and share it on Facebook. I share all my stuff on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, and I write a little blurb. I say what the video is about. I don't get too specific because then people may not want to watch the video. But if you do that, chances are you'll get a lot more watchers. And I apologize for my voice. I'm actually fighting what we think is a cold. My godparents had something when they came down, but I already had something of my own. And I can actually still hear it. My ears are a little clogged up. So if I sound a little different tonight, that's why. Is a 30-minute video enough to be as a movie? I don't think so. 30 minutes is about what I would recommend for a YouTube video, though. Any longer, you're going to lose people. Even if it's something very interesting. When I used to do those tech videos where I would, rebuild this, excuse me, rebuild the desktops years ago, I used to get those, and they would be about an hour. I'd probably have about 3 hours of footage that I would have to trim down to about an hour. And I noticed if I went into the analytics, I'd lose people after about 20 minutes. So try to keep your videos short and concise, because let's face it, we all have short attention spans. That's just the way we are nowadays. Isn't that right, Milo? He has a very short attention span, this cat. You're a good boy. Classic Mobile Home is in the house. Nice. He's in the house. In the house. Ruben says he announces pages on Google Plus and Twitter. Those are good, but I would absolutely do it on Facebook. If you have a Facebook account, promote your videos on Facebook. You guys noticed that somebody started that Matt M. Roy fans page? I've actually gotten from that page about 100 subscribers over the past 2 weeks. So if you're making YouTube content, Facebook is very, very important. Mike Peridin, hey, how was your day? My day has been going all right. I've had some issues signing up for my new medical coverage. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but a lot of things have changed over the years. So I was on with representatives this morning for about an hour, and I lost my temper once or twice. It is what it is. But you know what? Tomorrow's going to be a better day. It's going to be warmer. It's going to be sunny. I think it's going to be in the 60s, and that means back to my walking schedule, because the last 2 days I've only gotten about 10,000 steps in, and I actually don't even think I've made 10,000 today. Let's see. Oh, I did. 10,178 steps. So going to try to walk after this, probably end this live stream in about 40, 45 minutes. Mom and I want to walk around the neighborhood because we want to look at all of the decorations. And those are not going to be out too much longer. Believe it or not, people, at least in my area, about 2 or 3 days after Christmas, they will take all their decorations down. Us, heck, we used to sometimes have them up till February. We take them down, I think, either President's Day or the beginning of February. And yes, you could probably realize I don't know what day President's Day is off the top of my head. Eric Brunhammer said, I just spent the last hour, a half hour or so, updating my resume and applying for jobs. I'm ready to walk out of my job right now. I can't handle this place anymore. Don't do anything hasty, especially this time of year. You know, bosses are on edge themselves, and believe it or not, they are more apt to fire you around the holidays. Um, just don't do anything harsh, buddy. I don't want to see you out of work, especially this time of year, you know, when we got to pay for all of our gifts, right? Though I'll be honest with you, we didn't buy a lot this year because none of us really needed that much of anything. And the true reason of the season, it's not gifts. You know, gifts are nice. Yeah, it's great to get the latest PS4 or Xbox One or maybe a new gaming computer. Knock on wood. But I feel blessed just to be able to spend time with my family, you know, that my parents are still here, that we can spend time together, that we enjoy spending time together. I mean, that's the big important thing, not really expensive gifts. So we got nice things this year. I gave my mom a watch. I gave her a gift card for Amazon, and she gave me some nice things. I actually, she's going to buy me the Aladdin face cover vinyl record when and if we can find it. That was the big thing that she wanted to buy, but it could not be found anywhere. If you guys remember the Disney records I've been buying, the ones that have the pictures printed on them or the imprints, I think Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King. I have Beauty and the Beast, Lion King. What's the other one? My mind just went blank. Okay. Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, The Little Mermaid, and I want to get Aladdin too, but it's nowhere to be found right now. Ruben says, my real presents are sketchbook, colored pencils, and a sweater. Nice. You're definitely artistic, probably more than I am. I am artistic, don't get me wrong, but not in a sense that I can sit down and draw. I absolutely can't. I can draw a stick figure. Maybe that's about it. My artistic side leans more on the whimsical and the more entertainment side, like what I do here. You guys love it, and I'm glad that you guys love it. I mean, this is a great outlet for me, and you know, the fact that you guys enjoy it, absolutely. Ruben woke up 34 degrees Fahrenheit at 6:55 a.m. That's pretty cold for your area. I think you said you were in Pasadena, California. Yeah, but you know what? It's nice to have cold weather sometimes. I used to like take cold walks in the morning. I remember years ago, my buddy Chris and Mike, we used to actually, before they put the Suffolk Seaboard Coastline Trail in, used to be able to walk on the old railroad tracks, and we had a little campsite back there. And I remember in the winter we would go out and we'd walk from the other end, Driver it's called. It was maybe like a mile and a half walk. This is when that was a long walk for me. This was before the weight loss, and I was out of breath towards the end of that walk. And we would make it. We would go in there, we'd light a fire, and this was maybe on a morning in February or January, February, probably be about 25, 30 degrees, but we'd go in there, we'd light a little fire, we'd cook up some bacon, you know, brew some coffee, and just kind of tell stories to each other. And that was really fun. I really miss doing that. I'm hoping to get to do more of that the coming year, to be honest with you. Jonathan Grindle says, make sure you guys put foam on your pipes so they don't burst. That's a good point, especially if you have pipes that are against outside walls, which we only have one set of pipes like that, and that's in the master bedroom. And if you have actual metal pipes, where our house is new enough that we have PVC. PVC itself doesn't really get affected too much by the cold. The pipes won't burst, but if it's on an outside wall, the water might freeze inside of those pipes. So you do have to be careful all the same. James King, hey Matt, is a Lenovo ThinkCentre 3Z worth getting for 35 New Zealand dollars in good condition. But a 45-minute drive, I need to look that up, honestly. I don't know that one specifically off the top of my head. Now, everybody expects me to know every system off the top of my head, but it just can't happen. I wish it could. See, so that's an all-in-one desktop. Let me see what it usually sells for. 73E, yeah, Z, I should say. It doesn't show me what. Oh, here's tech specs. I mean, it could be any processor. Well, let's just assume it has the lowest, like a Pentium G3430. For 35 bucks, I'd pick it up. I mean, it is an all-in-one, so you can't really expect to get a lot of life out of it because they do wind up cooking themselves in the end. But for the price, yeah, I'd pick it up. Yes, Eric, I do remember that. He said the biggest present this year was the trip to the Statue of Liberty. And oh my goodness, I saw the pictures of that. We tried to go there. Well, we went to New York a few years back. I think it was like 2010, 2011. And we saw pretty much everything. We went to Ellis Island, but at that time, you could get off on Liberty Island, but you couldn't even get close to the Statue of Liberty because it was still a security risk. So we didn't even bother getting off the boat. We just went to Ellis Island, which was amazing. I mean, that was an awesome trip to see what all those immigrants had to endure when they came into this country all those years ago. It's amazing. And we even tried to look up my family history. We really couldn't find much because honestly, I don't think any of my relatives came here through Ellis Island. On my dad's side, I'm the first generation on my dad's side to be born in the U.S. And then on my mom's side, it only goes back a couple of other generations. So really couldn't find too much. But our good friend that we were with, she actually found quite a bit about her family, stuff that she didn't actually know. Hang on a second. There we go. Now you can get both of us in the picture and my head's not all cut off. All cats are kids inside. Ain't that the truth, Classic Mobile Home? I'm telling you, this thing is still very much a kitten, even though he's a year and a half. About a year and a half, probably even getting closer to 2 years old now. He's still got a lot of kitten left in him. I know he's cute, isn't he? All right, so let me share some of the things that I got today from the day after Christmas sales. The first thing I got is kind of excuse me, sorry, is kind of interesting. This is a Stanley wireless remote system. This was 50% off, so it was $20 originally, so I got it for $10. Same thing with everything here. And the cool thing about this is basically what this lets you do is control a device remotely with this remote. Kind of like the clapper. If you guys remember the clapper back in the day, you plug in your device, you get three, I guess we call them transponders here, and then you get the remote. So this one could be for a lamp. This one could be like for your TV. This one could be for your stereo. Now, granted, this was really sold as being used to control trees, to turn your lights on and off. But this will do anything. And of course, you see, you got the remote here. And it's got 3 different buttons for controlling the 3 different devices. Now, I use this to control that little light that's in the corner over there. Basically, I have one hooked up now, which uses a very similar remote. You can probably see me turning it on and off. You can see it a little bit. But what's happening is this uses a proprietary battery, which I can't find anywhere. So once the battery dies in this, that's it. That whole device isn't going to be good anymore. So that's good. This will let me switch to this. And for the price, you really can't go wrong. If you want, let's see, Jonathan Riddle, if you want a great mesh wireless router system board, I would recommend the Amplify by Ubiquiti Networks. Oh my goodness, I have no idea what you were talking about. But yeah, there are a lot of good ones out there, definitely. All right, number 2. Again, these all came from Bed Bath & Beyond. This is the Starbucks Holiday Blend for the K-Cups. There's 16 of them in there. And these are herbal and sweet maple notes, medium ground coffee, which is actually my favorite type of coffee. The McCafe K-Cups that I get are medium ground coffee as well. This was $13.50, and I got it for 50% off, so you could do the math there. I'll give you guys a more precise calculation here. So basically like $5 off. So I got these, I think it was like $7.89. So there may have been another discount added to it. But again, great deal, something I will definitely get a lot of use out of. You guys know I love my coffee. Going to be drinking a lot of those in the morning. If I like it, I may go back tomorrow and actually pick up some more. They have maybe like 12 of them left, but I want to make sure I actually like it before I buy, you know, another 16 cups. Oh my goodness. Ruben said Milo's waking up and licking his body. Must have been a while back because he's fast asleep again now. Stephen Barber says, I don't drink Starbucks. I love Dunkin' Donuts. I tried Starbucks and not happy with it. You know, I'm not a big fan of Starbucks coffee either. As a matter of fact, that's why, again, I didn't buy multiples of this, because normally I don't like Starbucks coffee either. But the fact that this is a holiday blend, has maple, which is one of my favorite flavors, and is a medium roast coffee, I figured I'd go ahead and give it a try. But yes, I do agree with you. The original Dunkin' Donuts coffee is some of my favorite. And I'll tell you a funny story. I didn't used to like it. I actually had to develop a taste for it. I wound up buying, again, from Bed Bath & Beyond, a big thing of, I think it was, that one was like 46 or 48 K-Cups of the Dunkin' Donuts coffee. And that was delicious. Some of the best I've had. Next, you know what? I'm going to amend what I've been saying. There was one set of items that I got outside of Bed Bath & Beyond. That was at Food Lion. It wasn't anything super special. It's these Glade Enchanted Evergreen Sparkling Firm Balsam and Hollyberry Glade scent and spray refills, you know, they put in for the automatic sprayers that go off either every like 30 minutes, 15 minutes, or 7 minutes. These are normally about $5 a piece. I wound up paying $2.50. Again, 50% off. And I got 5 of those, which I didn't bring them all out. I just figured I'd show you the one I picked up, and that was the last of them. Yeah, sorry, guys. Feel a little bit better now. Jonathan Grindle says, if you can get them cheap, then get it. They're worth it. But if you pay full price, it's not worth it. Well, pretty much true for everything, really. All right. We're up in the final stretch here. I got the last 2 items that I want to show you that I picked up. And again, these are from Bed Bath & Beyond. And this was probably the best deal. These are Stay Cozy Winter Blessings Vanilla Bean and Bourbon Richly Scented Candles. You guys can see them right there. Very interesting. These were $10 a piece. They're not Yankee candles, so they're not ridiculously overpriced. 50% off. Got them for $5. They're tri-wick or 3-wick candles, if you can see it right there. And you could definitely smell the vanilla. And if you smell real close, like put your nose right into it, kind of like this, sniff, and then let it waft for a minute, you can definitely smell the hints of bourbon in there. So these will be nice. I'm actually burning a candle that I got for Christmas over there right now. But when we get a real cold night, I'm talking about like maybe in the teens or 20s, and I have my heater on, it's so nice to sit in bed, watch TV, and look at the candles burn. And that's probably when I'll light this up. And yes, I did wind up getting 2 of those. And they're exactly the same. It was the only ones I really liked. I looked at some of the Yankee candles, and the prices were okay. There were a lot more. And I looked at a few more of the jar candles like this. But I didn't like any of the other scents. They were very muted to me. There just wasn't a lot of scent there. And, of course, to me, what's the point of having a candle and not having it scented. I mean, other than the utilitarian use of having it if you have your lights go out. So maybe that's just me. Maybe some of you guys like burning candles that are unscented, but for me, I love smelling that. Aromatherapy is so healthy for you. Amazing. Jonathan Grindle, hey Matt, just curious, why don't you use a monitor arm on your desk so you can have desk space? Well, I probably could. You guys have never seen it, but behind me, the desk is not open. I actually have a cork board, and then the rest of the desk is actually wood. Here, if I can turn you guys around for a sec, I'll show you what I'm talking about. You can see that behind these monitors is just wood, and then that goes pretty much all the way. And then on this side, it's just a chalkboard. Corkboard. So the only way I could do that, let me set you guys back down here. The only way I could really do that would be to remove the top of this desk, which I could do if I wanted to. It does actually come apart, but I don't know. I mean, I got enough space. I have that folding table right over there. I have the desk space on there, so I just don't really find it necessary. Paul Kane said, Matt, you need a drink of water. Yes, I do, and I don't have it with me. I'll be okay. It's because I got this cold thing, and I've had issues with some allergies recently. I'll be fine. Yeah, my jug of water's not here. I'm sorry, guys. I was watching another video. I've just been feeling off my game today, so I forgot to bring it with me, but that's okay. We'll move on. Eric says, my job is making me want to start drinking bourbon, LOL. As long as you don't drink in excess. You know, a good stiff belt every once in a while can do a lot of good. And I was actually reading an article that said drinking coffee and drinking alcohol is two of the best ways that people make it to 90 years old. And now take what I say with a grain of salt. We're talking nothing is good in excess, but basically drinking a little coffee each day, having a little alcohol each day is supposed to help increase your lifespan. In other words, make you live longer. And I think a lot of the reason behind that is they're both antioxidants. You know, taken in excess, they're terrible. Coffee, you drink tons of coffee, it raises your blood pressure. Same thing with alcohol. But if you have a little bit, say you have 2 cups of coffee in the morning, maybe 3 is about what I do. And then at night, maybe you have a little drink to kind of take the edge off and help you sleep, provided you don't have any other health problems. The combination of those 2 things being antioxidants actually helps neutralize all of the bad things that are in your body, basically, like all the bad toxins, all of the, what's the other word for it? Like alkaline versus acidic. I believe even though coffee and alcohol are acidic items because they have the antioxidant properties, if you drink enough water in between, you can actually turn your body more alkaline versus acidic, and all that helps in the aging process. I mean, I've drank a lot of water my whole life. I'm not a heavy drinker or anything, but I've also drank some coffee. And, I'm 35 years old now, and I have people tell me, Matt, you have the face of a 20 or 25-year-old. And I said, well, a lot of it has to do with the fact that I drink a lot of water. I keep my body hydrated. At the same time, I keep the toxins flowing through by drinking coffee and that with the water. So if you want to know how to maintain a healthy lifestyle, have a good complexion, have good regularity, if you guys know what I'm talking about, those are just some real simple ways to help maintain a healthy lifestyle. That is true, Paul. Antioxidants neutralize the free radicals, and those are the things that cause cancer, that can actually cause your cells to mutate. And when a cell mutates, that's what cancer is, basically. Ruben says, I don't drink coffee most of the time a lot. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking that means you do drink coffee, but you don't want to admit that you drink coffee. I don't drink coffee most of the time a lot. Okay, I got you. So I guess you don't drink coffee a lot. You don't have to drink a lot. I mean, to me, I drink 3, maybe 4 cups a day if I'm really needing it, if I really need to pick me up. But that's about it. And that's what a lot of research shows. Drinking between 2 and 4 cups of coffee a day is all you need to get those antioxidant benefits. Eric says, if you drink too much, you'll look like 60 when you're 30. I think he's talking about alcohol. Yeah, absolutely. You got to be really careful with that. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to do anything in excess. Anything in excess is bad for you. Eric, I know you're not a coffee drinker. I know you like to drink sweet tea, or at least you did. I hope you're getting rid of that. Matthew, Robert Jones says, Matt, have you heard of the keto diet? Yes, I have. I know a few people that are on that. Vlogging Life, if you ever watch his channel, he's on it. A couple of YouTubers. I think the kid behind the camera was doing something similar to the keto diet, or may actually have been the keto diet. But I find for me, diets don't work. I've tried diets, specific diets, and they just don't work for me. At the end, I wind up gaining all the weight back. My lifestyle change is what's gotten me to this point where I've lost all this weight, and I'm sticking to it. And if you guys want to know, I mean, for the most part, those of you that have been with me for any length of time know what you need to do to get your weight down, like I have. But if you want, I have no problem sitting down with you guys face to face, either in a Skype chat or, even through Messenger, and giving you guys tips to what you need to do. But diets themselves fail, and they fail for 80 to 90% of the people out there. Go look, do the research. You don't have to believe me. I mean, they tell you diets fail, and the reason they fail is you're not changing anything. You're not learning new habits on how to eat. All you're doing is temporarily changing the way you eat, and then when you get off the diet, you go back to the way you're eating before. You gain all that weight back, and it's so much more mental than physical weight loss. I mean, there is a physical aspect to it. You have to put in the exercise, the hours for exercising. You do have to physically know what you need to do to stop eating, push yourself away from the table. But I would say at least 70% of it is mental. You have to get to the point where you say, okay, I'm tired of weighing this amount. I know I need to lose weight. What do I need to do to get my weight down? And are there going to be times that you're going to feel hungry? Yeah. And there are going to be times it's going to be difficult? Oh, yes, absolutely. But you got to push through. You could have what's called a weight loss buddy. A lot of people, my mother was my weight loss buddy. Through this whole thing, we were able to police each other. There were times that, she was going to eat something late at night, and I'd say, Mom, do you really need to eat that? I honestly don't think so. And she'd be like, yeah, you're right. And she would do the same thing for me. There were times that I would go down early on in this lifestyle change. I would go down and want to raid the refrigerator. And she would say, Matt, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting a midnight snack. And she's like, do you really need that snack? I'd be like, yeah, you're right. I probably don't. And I would push myself away. So you guys can do that as well. I mean, it's again, it's not easy, but it can be done. Oh, we have a super chat. Chet Boulay says, Merry Christmas. Make sure this goes towards Milo and Baxter. Milo got me in the spirit of giving. Oh, thank you very much. Guess what, Milo? You guys are going to be getting a heck of a lot of treats. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to get you guys 2 different types of greenies. And I know you're going to love that because it's funny. Milo likes the catnip flavored greenies, and so did Baxter for a while. But now Baxter won't eat them anymore. Baxter's like, oh, I'm tired of those. I want something different. So I had to go to Dollar Tree, and I had to get him, I can't think of what they call them, the feline Delitables. They are the Delitables, and they're the seafood medley. So it's like a mixture of different flavors. Gave that to Baxter for a while, and only now, about a week later, is he ready to get the greenies again. So you know what? You guys are going to get some greenies. Definitely. I386 says, every now and then I crave a Coke. I used to not like Coke, but on Tuesdays at work we get pizza, and I usually drink a Coke. Yeah, when I worked at Batteries Plus Bulbs for a while, they would do that on weekdays. Usually it was Pepsi, though. It was Papa John's and Pepsi. And the funny thing about that was we all like different pizza. Most of the guys like typical meat lovers pizza, the pepperoni, the sausage, and maybe like capicola or something. But there was another guy I worked with there, Albert, and he didn't like the meat lovers pizza. He and I would always ask for the mushroom and onion pie. And I remember multiple times my other coworkers would be like, mushroom and onion. How can you eat that? That stuff's so nasty. And I'd be like, hey, we like it. It's healthier than the meat lovers pizza. The meat lovers pizza will raise your cholesterol like crazy. That was just a funny little factoid from a time in my life I don't like to remember too much because that job didn't really work out very well. Munchie Madness Gaming wants to know what my Facebook name is. You want to know what my Facebook page is? I thought I've shared that on here before. Well, if not, let me see. Okay, they won't allow me to do it. So just look up Matthew Roy. ROI is the last name. You'll be able to find it. I guess they don't allow you to share that link. Whoops. Classic Mobile Home is back. Said I had to go and buy me a gift for my mom. Gift card. Hey, nothing wrong with gift cards. My mother got one, along with a couple other little trinkets. And I hope Dad doesn't mind me telling you guys this, but I get him the same gifts every single year. That being undergarments and sometimes like shoes or something like that. But as we get older, and this is really funny, I've noticed this with me too. As I get older, I like the practical gifts. I don't want the real expensive TVs or a gaming computer because I can buy that myself if I really need it. But I want the things that I usually don't think to buy for myself, like underwear, undershirts, socks, shirts, pants, things like that. Stuff that, I don't really necessarily like shopping for. I'm more of a clothes shopper now than I used to be. Years ago, especially when I was really heavy, I didn't want to shop for clothes. And for good reason. It's depressing when you're in a 4X or a 5X shirt and you have to go out and try to find any shirts that fit you. And believe me, there was a time when I was in that 4 to 5X range. And in my area, there were a few stores. JCPenney had a very small big men's section, and they had the ugliest shirts and pants. I mean, I guess they thought big guys didn't want to dress nicely because I remember going into the big men's section there, and all I could find for a dress shirt was a checkered plaid shirt like Al would have worn on Home Improvement. I kid you not. This is a true story. And a few years later, it got better because they opened up Casual Male XL, which is a big and tall men's shop. And they did actually carry some decent clothes. But again, that's a time in my life I don't really like to think about because it was so depressing. And I can't, and I hope that I jumpstart somebody out there into the same mindset that I had. Now that I've lost the weight, I can fit into an XL or an XLT, sometimes a 2X, depending on if it's a small shirt or a cheap shirt. But the nice thing about that is almost all designer brands go up to at least a 2 or a 3X. So I can fit in pretty much any shirt that I want. What I'm wearing right now is a Flash shirt that I got at the Kmart in Wellsville, New York, which is sadly closing. This is a 2X, and this is a cheap shirt, so it runs a little small, but you guys can see on me right now, I mean, it's swimming. It's absolutely huge. So I hope what I'm saying resonates with a lot of you out there. I mean, this is my passion. If I get nothing else out of life, I hope to be able to help people decide that they're fed up enough with their current weight, and they want to get on a good weight loss plan. And Again, I'm not a nutritionist, so if you really want to know how to augment your diet, you need to go to your primary care physician, PCP, and have them put you in touch with a nutritionist, because a nutritionist will definitely help you in the long run. Losing everybody here. Let me see. We got 25 watchers. Classic Mobile Home said she gave me a gift card, so I had 10 on it. So I got me a mic for my webcam. Hey, sweet. Yeah, I knew that you were having issues with that. I watched some of your videos, and it was the audio was a little grainy. So hopefully that'll help you get better content. Very nice. Munchie Madness Gaming says thank you. So I assume you got my Facebook page. Nice. Excuse me. Let's see what we got here. 22 watchers, 18 likes. That is awesome. You guys are such a blessing. I tell you. And I want to challenge you to help me get some ideas on content to do. Now, realize, being that it's going to be in the dead of winter, there's not a lot of stuff that I'll be able to do outside. But as spring comes along, and especially towards summer, there are a lot of ideas that I have. But I want to know what you guys, my subscribers, want to see from this channel. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to make enough money to where I can put more back into the channel, other than just paying the bills and buying equipment for making the videos. Eventually, I would like to get a better setup here as well. Maybe replace this webcam with something a little bit more professional. Though I do have to say, this Logitech C9000 or 900 series HD camera does a decent job. It really does. Chet Belay asked, are you interested in gardening and plants in general? I'd like to know your interests in that realm. None. I'm sorry. I am not an outdoor person as it pertains to gardening or planting. Some people have that proverbial green thumb. If you had a green thumb and this was your thumb, mine would be about like that. I tried doing tomato plants once, and I did everything that I could. I read up on it. I trimmed all the buds off that weren't producing. I gave it the Miracle-Gro plant formula, and at the end, my 3 or 4 plants yielded 2 tomatoes, so one didn't even work. And then, of course, I tried that topsy-turvy, which grows your plants upside down. That was a total disaster. So yeah, not much into a green thumb, unfortunately. I36 says, get on the roof of your house and dance. If you saw the slope of my roof, you'd realize how impossible that would be. Some people have like flat roofs, or at the very least roofs, they're maybe kind of like this. Our roof is like at a 45-degree angle. I could safely say that is not going to be happening. Munchie Madness Gaming asks, Matt, can I make you a logo? Absolutely. I don't want to have a specific contest, but if that's what you can do, submit it to me, and as long as it's tasteful, yeah, I'll add it into my videos. Absolutely. I've been actually looking for somebody to do that because, again, I'm not artistic. I wouldn't be able to make a good logo. So yeah, definitely shoot me a message afterwards. Get a sports car and do a burnout. Okay, let me amend what I said. Let's stick to more realistic goals. If I won the lottery, yeah, maybe. But yeah, that's probably not going to happen. And I'm not going to say it is, because I know that I'd have to be super lucky to be able to afford a sports car. Chet Belay says, I think a good segment would be your best tips for self-care or re-energizing yourself. I like meditation and TV watching, but there are many options. Absolutely. When it comes to like re-energizing myself, I do like watching TV. I've tried meditation, but it doesn't really work for me. I think the best thing that works for me, laying in bed at night, TV off, and listening to classical music. When I say classical music, I'm talking about music with no lyrics, just instrumental. We have a very good local station here, WHRO's classical station, 90.3. They play classical music 24 hours a day. I listen to that most of the time overnight, and that helps me sleep well. Though every once in a while, I'll boot up the old HP Windows 2000, turn on Winamp, and I'll play what is it? It's Venice Classic Radio through Winamp, but it's actually a Shoutcast audio radio station, and they have some really good classical music too. James King said you should do a video teaching first-time users how to set up and use their PC. Great option, absolutely. And I want you guys to send this to me if you can. When it goes into post-production, make sure you put it in the chat window again, because believe it or not, sometimes what I see here in the chat window doesn't actually carry over into the video when it's re-uploaded, and you guys can watch it later on. But with that, tubers, I am going to end this live stream. Munchie Madness Gaming says, do reviews on healthy food and drinks. All good ideas, all ideas I'm going to try to incorporate in the near future. I'm going to answer 2 more questions, and I'm going to end this video because I'm actually losing my voice. Matt, what about doing learning enhancements? Again, a great idea. You know, having a learning segment where I could teach people to do certain things. Could be cooking, could be technology related. All right, Chipotle says good night. Take care. Hope you guys have a great Christmas. Had a great Christmas. Have a great New Year's. Probably going to see you before then, but no promises. We'll just have to see what happens. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody. Say bye, Milo. Bye-bye.